your season high for turnovers for a game in the first half. What was going on in the first half, and what changed in the second half?
Yeah, I'll take the blame for that one. I watched too much Patrick Mahomes this weekend, and I was launching it down the court to him, and I got to be better about that. Probably when he hits me, I got to start dribbling or something, because I looked up and there was 23 on the shot clock one time. I'm like, I probably should have called timeout, but I launched it up to Booze, and just bad mental errors on my part. And it's good to get that out of the way though, and I'll get back in the film room and fix that. So
was it just a sloppy game, or you guys looking past them, or what was it?
No, we weren't. They're way better than people think. They play super hard on defense. And they're a good team. I don't know, Booze, what do you think?
Yeah, they were a good team, and during halftime, I think we all just knew that once we got over the turnovers, we were gonna be fine. So.
Yeah, does it feel good like when you go in the half and you're like, all right, we played pretty sloppy, and yet we're only down 2? Does that make it easier to come back?
Definitely, I think it's a little bit comforting. We went into the locker room and we talked about our turnovers and little stuff, and we didn't have much else to say. We knew we had to get to it right after that.
Yeah, I think Leon came in pretty mad. He said it was the worst first half we had all season. And credit to Fresno, I think their defensive numbers were really good, and it showed in that first half. We weren't playing our offense like we were all month. So credit to them for a great defensive night.
You had a couple big threes late, how'd that feel?
It felt good. I saw the first one go in. Decky just gave me a great pass on the second one, and it was just open, so just let it go.
So, to do that in this environment, I know we're midway through the season, and you're playing a lot here, but to feel that after you hit it and the crowd got into it, is that why you came here?
Exactly, yep, 100%. Every time we're in the extra mile, we want to show off for the fans and just keep a great atmosphere and win, so that's what we did.
It's hard to win games in the Mountain West. Who's the first seed in the new Max? You can follow this up, but clearly you guys didn't have your A game tonight, but you still get a double-digit victory. I assume it's nicer to struggle and win than the other effect or the other outcome, I suppose.
Right. Yeah. 100%. And you were just talking about the Mountain West is really good this year. People are asking us before games, what's Fresno State going to do tonight? And you got to explain to them that it's the Mountain West and everybody's good. And we could have lost tonight, but we accomplished the mission. We were 1-0.
Yeah, I think that's a big step from last year. Even like people always would talk about our defense last year. I think our numbers are a lot better this year even. And we did a really good job running them off the 3. I think they were 2 for 22 or something like that. And I think that kept us in the game. If we weren't guarding like that, it would have been really bad for us and would have been a resume killer. But we overpowered them in the second half, and I don't know how many points they scored, but I think it was around 20. So defense won us the game in this one for sure.
What does that mean, running them off the 3?
Basically, like you just help in and you just go contest really hard. You saw Najee like over contest on that one, but basically that's what it is, kind of flying by, making them put it on the ground. And I think they did a really good job doing that to us too tonight. But I think there's just 2 really good defensive teams going at it, and they're not a bad team at all. So.
You guys, what are the challenges when you hit this point in the season? You guys are upwards of 20 games. You probably feel the wear and tear of the season, but you still got a big month and a half ahead of you here.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just taking it one game at a time, because sometimes I look at our schedule and I'm like, we got to do this. All these teams are good, and you get ahead of yourself, and it kind of just wears on you a little bit. So that's something I feel like we're all kind of working on right now, just focusing on the next one up. And Colorado State's a great team. We play them Saturday, and they got us 2 times last year. So we need to be ready for them. They run a really good offense, and that one will be more up and down than tonight. So.
What does it say about this group to be able to kind of fight your way out of a turnover slump, a shooting slump, and be able to get the job done?
I think we just kind of have a next play mentality. Somebody turns the ball over, we're not going to get on. We're going to say next play, we got you. Just try and go from there.
It felt like early in the game you guys were down 30. You're turning over, missing shots, and then you hit that 3, and you look up and you're only down 4 points. Did it feel worse than it actually was, or how'd you guys keep it from getting even worse?
It did feel worse than it was. I think we even went up 2 at one point. I was like, there's no way we're winning right now. And then you saw a flurry of turnovers by us, which was my fault. But I think it's a really good learning experience for this team. Just be able to overcome those offensive struggles and run the ball out of bounds every other possession. And we'll learn from that, and we'll get better, and we'll come back in here on Saturday, hopefully to a solid crowd.
You had to go in at halftime only down 2, feeling pretty lucky.
Yeah, it was a good feeling knowing that we have a whole nother half to fix what we just did, so it was nice.
I feel like we've been asking this every game, Max, but how much confidence are you playing with right
On a scale of 1 to 10, my confidence is like a 9 right now.
So you didn't have a lot today, but you're a real difficult shot maker. Is there anybody you model your mid-range after?
Not really. It just feels like a good shot for me. But sometimes I'm too over aggressive and shoot really contested shots in the mid range. So that's something I've been focusing on too. Just trying to take better shots when it's open and when it's there.
Also, we looked up and there was 2 minutes into the game for you guys to take your first three. And lately, you guys have brought. You guys have been upwards of 25 threes a game. What was Fresno State doing? And you look down, you guys shot a pretty decent percentage. You were 3 of 3, you were 3 of 5. I mean, what were they doing to kind of limit that for you guys?
Well, we're two really good shooters, and every team in the conference knows that. So every time they scout us, they're not trying to let us get any threes off. But I think kind of towards the end of the game as well, everybody just gets tired. You forget to scout a little bit, and we just start getting open.
Yep.
How do you guys avoid a start like tonight against Colorado State?
Just less turnovers. Getting to our offense. It felt like when Leon took me out and I was just watching our offense, it just looked like we weren't really moving with force. And they were. If you watch their offense, they were cutting hard. They were coming off screens harder than us. We were kind of just standing around. And we fixed that in the second half, credit to Duryea. But just in order to avoid that, we just got to know to attack with force at all times and just be on top of it. So.